After 11 days of rain, you have a really high water table. So the pipes themselves are sitting in water.
The city of Palm Coast is asking residents to limit their water usage following days of heavy rain.
Unfortunately, every utility deals with that. It's called infiltration and intrusion.
Palm Coast Chief of Staff Jason DiLorenzo says parts of the county have received 10 inches of rain since September 1st, and that water has to go somewhere.
We have about 12,000 PEP tanks that have a cover that sits on the ground, right? So water gets right into the system, into the PEP tanks. And then, of course, there's manholes, and we've done a lot of work to seal our manholes, but we still are continuing to do that project. So we line manholes every year, but we still have a lot of intrusion.
All of that water is putting a strain on the wastewater system.
In June, our average that we processed at the wastewater treatment plant, both of them combined, was 6.3 million gallons per day. On Wednesday, we treated 12.6 million gallons a day, so about 6 million gallons of rainwater that we treated on one particular day. So we've had people working really, really hard at our plants to make sure that we're processing that safely. And then also we've had to use tank trucks to go out and help the lift stations be able to control flow.
DiLorenzo says the system will process the excess water, but it takes time. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Daryl Moody.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Monday, September 16th. It's nearly time for the 2024 Palm Coast Flagler Chamber Business Connections Expo. Karen Johnson has details on when and where to bring your resume and questions.
Daytona State College is hosting this year's Business Connections Expo. Kelsey Lombard, Operations Manager for the Palm Coast Flagler Regional Chamber of Commerce, has the necessary details.
It's going to be September 20th from 10 to 2. We're going to be located at the Daytona State College in Palm Coast, so come on and join us. We also will have a vendor-only VIP speed networking from 9 to 10.
It's a well-thought-out event.
So this is a chance for our businesses to connect with local businesses and also the public to join us and see all the businesses that we're promoting within the chamber.
And there's room to get involved.
You can either contact me directly through the chamber's phone number, or you can meet me through email at kelsey@pcfchamber.com.
The closing session on Friday, September 20th, will feature Dr. Alvin Jackson from the city of Bunnell, author, teacher, and mentor, teaching on the ins and outs of doing business with the government, including valuable guidance on how to secure government contracts, followed by a Q&A session. For Flagler's Local Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. Heroic efforts of Palm Coast City staff were highlighted at a recent meeting. Acting City Manager Lauren Johnston.
In our executive team meeting this week, we talked a lot about our staff, and several of our directors shared stories of our staff being everyday heroes. Steve Flanagan helped perform CPR after playing tennis at Holland Park. We had Jose Papa help give the Heimlich and save another staff member who was choking.
Wow. And
two of our stormwater employees noticed a down FPL line and called FPL and prevented any serious injuries from that incident. So we got to hear some great things that our staff is doing.
Wake up with Flagler's Morning News. Stay connected with the latest stories and events by visiting WNZF News Radio on Facebook. Watch the Flagler's Morning News video posted every weekday morning and stay informed in Flagler County. The Flagler Beach City Commission has officially approved a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit for all city streets, effective immediately. This change does not apply to state roads A1A and 100 or county roads like John Anderson Highway and Roberts Road. The speed reduction aims to enhance public safety and create consistent speed limits across the city. Many streets in Flagler Beach lack sidewalks, making lower speeds crucial for the safety of pedestrians, cyclists, and other road users. We've heard of Rotarians and the Rotary Club, but what do they do?
Ruth Ann Stalker is a Rotarian in the Rotary Club of Flagler Beach. She said the Rotary as a whole focuses on 7 things.
Promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water and sanitation and hygiene, saving mothers and children, supporting education, growing local economies, and protecting the environment.
It may sound like a big ask, but Stalker said on a recent episode of Flagler Health Matters that the organization wants to tackle these issues and one day achieve world peace.
And you really can't have a peaceful world if people don't have adequate access to food, water, sanitation, medical care, and those important building blocks of a peaceful world.
Flagler Health Matters is on WNZF Saturday mornings at 11:30, and it's on the Flagler radio app anytime you want to listen. Tomorrow, a suicide prevention initiative. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Lee Show with your WNZF local sports update.
The FPC Bulldogs welcomed the Lake Brantley Patriots to Sal Campanella Stadium Friday night. Well, welcome may not be the right word. The Bulldogs quickly asserted themselves, jumping out to a 28-0 first quarter lead. A running clock in the second half was all that stood between FPC and a 48-0 win. The offense was firing on all cylinders from the beginning, with Hayden Hayes throwing for 273 yards and 3 touchdowns. Coach Dan Fish earlier this month on his quarterback.
I think he's protecting the ball really well. I think he's doing a great job leading with his voice, with his actions. The guys really gravitate towards him. We trust him with the ball in his hands. The other guys trust him with the ball in his hands. And it's nice to have 2 and 4 back there together.
Number 4 is Marcus Mitchell, who had over 100 yards rushing as FPC ran for over 250 and gained 521 yards total. Colby Cronk had 14 tackles and 5 sacks, en route to passing Mike London Sr. as the Bulldogs' all-time sack leader. Lucas Sahara picked up his 4th interception of the year as FPC forced 4 turnovers. Fish on his secondary that has 5 interceptions in 3 games.
I challenge those guys from day one that, listen, everyone's going to think that you're the weakness. Everyone's going to come at you and attack you. What are you going to do about it? So those guys come to work every single day. We got an awesome defensive backs coach and Chris Parks. Those guys have just really come together, man, and they rise up to the occasion every time they're asked to.
The Bulldogs are 3-0 for the first time since 2017. They host Zephyr Hills Christian in the WNZF Sports Network Game of the Week, Friday at 7. The Matanzas Pirates hosted Andrew Jackson in last Friday's Game of the Week. It was a back-and-forth defensive affair throughout. It was scoreless with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
3rd down and 20 for the Tigers. Ball at the 39-yard line. Dixon in the shotgun. Dixon back to pass. And he escapes the rush. Now throws deep down the field. Has a man open, and it's a touchdown for the Tigers. What a play by Jamarian Dixon.
The lone score proved enough for the Tigers, who escaped with a 6-0 win. The 2-2 Pirates traveled to Daytona to play Seabreeze Friday night. Matanzas Cross Country was at the Mahoney Memorial Meet in Port Orange Saturday. For the boys, Blaine Vogel had a top 5 finish, while Maria Phillips led the girls to a 5th place finish. WNZF is your home for local sports, with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.